Okay, so 39, we are leaving the 39. Yeah. So this chapter is mindful and awareness chapter. We need mindful and awareness. So without mindful awareness could be, transgressions and lose the wow. And that's the reason we have to recognize what we're doing. So today is 39. It's followed by actually yesterday. Followed by the yesterday teaching. It's 39. Is if even scars inflicted by meaningless enemies are worn upon the body like ornaments, then why is the suffering a cause of harm to me, who impeccably strive to fulfill the great purpose? This 39 verses, the main point is, if you so much sacrifice, like not important, something small things. So if you do that, then actually there's not much like meaningful. But if we do that, and still we are stuck in samsara, cannot liberate. So that's the reason we have to think about a more bigger picture and the future lives, not too narrow mind thinking, only temporary, benefit and temporarily benefit. That's the reason we sacrifice too much. So if you sacrifice too much yourself, too much put effort, but result is not any meaningful. So Shantideva said that some samsaric beings does like that. That's the reason. Even scars inflicted by meaningless enemies, like you fight with other people, maybe they're like like knife cut or strong heat, something in your body. So you have that always carry with you. This scar is always you carry with that. So that is like our worn upon the body like ornaments. So same is like your ornaments. So there's some country, then people show that they are bereaved. They say, "Oh, I fight before. See, this is my. That time I fight. I subdued enemies. I'm winner." Or they show their courages. So they show the pride. They're very pride. They're showing that. So I don't know that in here is doing that. It's like usually in Asia, Tibet, and we have a lot like that. People show. So they show that their courages. Shantideva, I think during that time also India and the culturally the people doing that same thing, showing, they're showing their courage, and they say, "Oh, I subdued these enemies." So when I fight, so the knife cut me here, so they show the like body, yeah. So then that's Shantideva already carry with the body, like same is like ornament, something special ornament. So if you doing like that, something for no meaning for you, so much sacrifice for something you doing like that, then why is the suffering a cause of harm to me? So don't you say yanda 1 minute, I have distractions here. Sorry about. So mine need really single point really focus. Otherwise, if you lose and something going on, and then I get distraction. So, so then Shantideva said, see, when why is suffering a cause of harm to me? If you're doing something like meaningful, useful, then the suffering is not harm to you. The suffering is, Shantideva says, is useful. So it's a benefit yourself and of course a benefit for others. That's why he said, why is suffering a cause of harm to me? Suffering is not to harm us if you're doing some good things. So that's what I talked yesterday, think about Malarepa. He put so much effort, and that suffering actually never harm to him. That suffering purify his karma. Also, he benefited so many other beings, right? So that is suffering is meaningful. No same is the first verses and the second. I mean the first sentence, the second sentence. That is ordinary people. Ordinary people who don't have wisdom, who don't understanding, they also sacrifice, fight with other people, and then they always carry this like the scares, and someone harm they carry always like that. They sacrifice. That is no meaningful. So that means Shantideva says, if you subdue the ordinary enemies and fight with them, actually no meaningful. That doesn't benefit you much. But samsaric beings, they think so important. They think they are winner, they show their courage, they are brave, and that kind of they're showing. So Shantideva said that is actually wrong. Nothing important there. So important is you put effort for liberation. So that time, if you have some difficulty suffering, that suffering actually is useful. Who impeccably strive to fulfill the great purpose. See, someone who put effort for liberation. So that effort and that passion is useful because it's like to fulfill the great purpose. That has meaningful, useful. So that's the difference is like ordinary people and practitioners. Yeah, ordinary people put so much effort in the samsaric worldly activity, but result is meaningless. Result is actually nothing or causes of suffering. Result is a suffering. Shantideva said, you put so much effort for like that way, you put effort for dharma, put effort for liberation, so that is more meaningful, more useful, and the causes of happiness, causes of our own happiness, causes of other beings' happiness. So that is the fulfill the great purpose. Then verses 40, if fishermen, hunters, and farmers, thinking merely of their own livelihood, endure the suffering of heat and cold, why am I not patient for the sake of the world's joy? So Shantideva said, look toward these worldly sentient beings, especially think about the fishermen. If the fishermen, they only benefit just their taking care of their own life and maybe they benefit their own family. the fish means so much sacrifice themselves, no much meaningful. They work so hard. Then that work is also actually harming to other beings, harming to themselves. No meaningful, but still they does so much sacrifice themselves. So the purpose is only they just get food, their own and for their family. That's it. No much benefit others, but they put too much effort. And then hunters. So hunters going to the care the animals. Usually they go to the wild, they care the wild animal, go to the mountains, and they wake up so early morning and go all the way to up to the mountain and sacrifice their whole life for the killing other beings, and the only just does like that, but its result is temporarily they just get their own food and maybe some feed for their family. So no much benefit. Actually, that result is harm for others and harm from themselves. They sacrifice there so much. And the farmers, then farmers all the time, working on the farms. So that's also, they work so hard, put so much effort. Result is no much. And then of course, like same is the nomads, and the same is the business people. They're just all the time, they're all the time, they're no minds, no resting, working, especially business people. Sacrifice all the time. Mainly of their own livelihood. So what they get benefits, only just their benefit, they only survive their life. So thinking about that, there's so much sacrifice doing these things, worldly activities. So endure the sufferings of heat and cold. So they endure the sufferings of heat and cold and hunger and thirsty, all kind of source of suffering they endured. So they just like that, but result is very small. Then the result is actually benefit, and suffering is like, maybe benefit is at 5%. The result suffering is 99%. So that kind of, they're doing these things, activity, or it's like that. That's why Shantideva said, why am I not patient for the sake of the world's joy? So why I don't have patience? My work is for benefit for all these mother sentient beings. And not just only temporary benefits, it's permanent benefits. Liberating myself and liberating others. Why I don't have a patience when I practice bodhicitta. So Shantideva said, must have to have patience when you practice bodhicitta. So this bodhicitta benefits sake of the world's joy, all sentient beings' joy. So then comparing to, see this first part, worldly people doing, they sacrifice a lot. Result is actually causes of suffering. Benefit maybe their own, they get food, and also they just feed some families, like livelihood. That's it. Not much benefit. So you talk the bodhicitta and practice bodhicitta, then you must have to have a patience. Shantideva said patience. The reason is you benefit yourself and benefit others, other beings. When the verses at 41, so this verses of 40 is very special. Usually we don't think this way, you know. Usually we don't think this way. Actually, really love to all these worldly beings. It's, there's so much sacrifice, and the result is just all it's causes of suffering, useless life. But they don't recognize because due to ignorance and the self, also the negative deeds, karma, no any wisdom, don't recognize what they're doing. So Shantideva, he recognized that he's telling, give us, pit instructions so we can study this 40, is we can change our job. Change means like you doing something like directly causes of suffering, harming for others, then better change the job. This time, like we have so many different kind of opportunities, you know. You don't have to start like harming for other beings, that kind of job, directly harming for other beings. So then other like you have regular jobs, means like no really harm any other beings. So you can have jobs, but not always thinking about that. No sacrifice only for that your job, taking care of the job. So you need more flexible and relax. And the time sometimes like you have put time to put for practice Dharma. Not only just 100% focus taking care of your own family and taking care only your job, not thinking about any future life, not thinking about like past, future, anything, just only focus on 100% in this life, then that person is like strong obscuration, really strong obscuration. Sometimes they think that life is joy and happy, is great. That is attachment. So that's the reason they don't recognize the future. They don't recognize the previous life. Karma is get here. This life is something good, but the result is is going to finish. They don't recognize what happened in future. They don't see the future, and that's the reason. So what we have to do, of course, the monastics, monks, nuns can always put effort for Dharma 100%, and if they don't put 100% for practice of Dharma, doing some focus too much on the worldly things, that's also wrong. Because when you read this, and they're really helpful. When I read this, really helpful, and also I recognize that people are so much suffering. Then when I read like this same things, and I'm thinking about these fishermen, farmers, who working, all these people, so much sacrifice, comes more compassion to them, you know, because we know so like they are suffering. So usually we come to compassion to someone really suffering, like they have big problem going on, something, the disease, or the lose the part of body, or something going on, big suffering, something going on, you come to compassion. The not really comes compassion to other just pervasively suffering beings. You know, when you read this prayers, then you come to compassion to everyone. Especially you see the someone fishing, you read these things, bring these words in your mind. You feel bad for them, or like kind of fear them, you know. Anyway, like comes like more compassion to them. And then you see all the farmers doing so much work and playing the rice. It's not easy. We can eat rice, but like we don't know where it's come from usually. Hard to get this rice. Who plants the rice? They put so much effort. When I was in India, only I recognize. That is really hard, playing the rice. I don't know here in US. They put like each you know, planes in the water, like they have two bodies, like so lower lots bodies under the water have to go into the farm to work. And then of course, like all the farmers all the time working in the farms is like heat and the cold and so much difficulty working for that. So you're seeing them and also see they're doing so much effort, but result is not much. Then of course these farmers, fishing, and all this normal, they work so hard, but not only dharma benefit, they don't have a dharma benefit for them. They actually worldly also with not much benefit for them. They work so hard. Then some other companies take everything, like they get more benefit than who work so hard. So of course, then dharma way, they are so much work so hard, but not any meaning for there. So you see these people comes really compassion to them, recognize their suffering. So they just only have their own livelihood. That's it. No any other than that. No result more than that. So that's the reason they sacrifice so much, but actually create causes of suffering. So then you recognize this all worldly beings actually does exactly this. Shantideva, what he says, exactly that everyone doing like that. So including us. So that's the reason when you read this, we can change ourselves and others doing this. So you recognize and it comes compassion to them. So you can cultivate love and compassion to others. That's increasing bodhicitta practice. So now we go to the verses 41. When I promise to liberate all whose beings dwelling in the 10 directions as far as the ends of space, from the disturbing conceptions, I myself was not yet freed from mine. So now we promised, when I promised to liberate all those beings rolling in the 10 directions as far as the end of space. So when we receive the bodhicitta, we promise all this Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, all the beings front over there. We promised. What we promise, we say we're going to benefit all other beings. So we say we're going to work for others, not only my benefit. From the disturbing conceptions, then we say we're going to benefit others and liberate them. How are you going to benefit? How to liberate other beings from the disturbing conceptions? So we benefit is like help for others free from their emotions. You know, the emotions causes of suffering. That's why we promise bodhicittas, bodhisattvas going to help these beings release their emotions, negative emotions. Then love to ourselves. I myself was not yet free from mine. So we promise to beg. Then Shantideva said, love to yourself. No, what are you doing? You're really doing, you followed your wishes. You really followed your promise. You say you're going to help for others free from samsara. So love to yourself, love to ourselves. Not yet free from mind means like we are not free from these negative conceptions, negative thoughts. So we are not different than all these regular other beings. Then Shantideva said, where is your promise? So reminding again, you know, we have to remind them again. When you read this, that means, no, I say, I don't want the bodhicitta. I'm going to give up bodhicitta. Not like that. So Shantideva says, you already promised, remind yourself again. Okay? So what do we have to do? So you get in the public place, and then the people does something wrong, and you think about this word, and you don't do the same with the others does wrong things. So that's also helpful because you think, oh, I receive this way of Bodhisattva. I receive Bodhicitta vow, and I receive so many teachings. So then you need mindful awareness, not doing same with other people does. Yeah. So sometimes other people does so much create causes of suffering, and then that time you just have to stay back. If you are part of the group, you recognize everyone is doing wrong, so you think, oh, I cannot because I cannot do same like this ordinary people doing. So I have to stay back. I have to take care of my promise, right? So that's what we have to do. We need mindful awareness anyway. Otherwise, some people like going to like protest, and then they destroy all this business, many things, object, and the too much harm others. So we join in them together and just doing same thing, follow them. That is incorrect. So you stay back and think about, oh, I have bodhicitta. I cannot destroy others' happiness. So usually samsaric beings does like that all the time. So actually some people say, oh, protect myself and protect others. Then that use that word harming for others. They don't recognize others also need protecting. They say, protect me, and I'm going to protect other people. I'm going to help this group. Then they join the group and doing things. But actually harming for other people too. So that's the, right now we can see many people doing like that. If some who has like little bit emotional compassion, they're doing like that, So doing like you saying like I'm going to support others, but then the really engaging is harming for others. So that's the reason you have to recognize, and oh, I cannot do this. I don't want anyone suffering. No someone winner, no someone loser. Right? So we have to bigger picture and think, okay, this is incorrect. And then of course, like wherever we go, we need mindful with awareness, the recognize people, other people doing something wrong, mistakes, and harming for others. So create causes of suffering. So recognize that we have to stay back because of think about this word. That part is very important. So Shantideva here, main point is I myself was not yet free from mind. Means like you doing same thing other ordinary people does, then it's wrong. So you have to, at least you need mindful and awareness, recognize what other people are doing wrong. Otherwise, we break the promise. So when we promise, we say we're going to help for every being. We say like, we are say, I am going to benefit all the world's joy. So we didn't say I'm going to support this group, I'm going to harm this group, That is incorrect, right? That's why we have to care for and think about that. Then also, so this word is like really good to when I get in the like public place, sometimes I don't have a mind for, and I just can be same with regular ordinary people. That's things. So then I think, oh yeah, I received this teaching and I know this promise, then comes like that way. It's like, not really doing same as other people. It comes like kind of more awareness, mindful, Long as you have mindful awareness, then you go to in this public place doing with other people, and you really recognize what is right, what is wrong. So some people doing wrong things, then comes like more, compassion to them, fear for them. So otherwise, we just go follow same thing other people doing. So that's we have to understand, and so many ways situation we can take it, that we can go to restaurant, we can go shops, we can go market, and whatever we're doing, like and we are on the road, and there's sometimes so much traffic, and we upset and yelling, someone cutting in the lane, something. So that time also you can think about these words, and all the time, like in the restaurant that not serve you really good. So think about these words. Okay, it's okay. I take care. Yeah. So very important. Change the life, daily life and activities. So otherwise, like not always time to practice bodhicitta. If you have long as you have mindful awareness, understanding this or dharma, and always have time to practice dharma. Especially when you be in the difficult place, you have time to practice dharma. Means you can use always this bodhicitta practice everywhere. So then 42, verses 42. If we don't do that, then really we are crazy, Shantideva. If you don't do, then you are crazy. Thus, I'm aware of even my own capacity. Was it not somewhat crazy to have spoken like that? But as this is so, I must never withdraw from vanquishing my disturbing conceptions. So first sentence, thus, I'm aware of even my own capacity. Shantideva says, okay, so when you receive the bodhicitta, you promise. No, you don't follow. Then you don't recognize what you're doing. You didn't recognize you can do or not. So then your capacity is not yet to promise that. You did promise. That's why, so you didn't recognize what you can do. Then was it not somewhat crazy to have spoken like that? Then that is crazy, Shantideva says. Yeah, because you promise so big and you doing nothing, no any actions. Even you have this all the conditions to practice bodhicitta, but you don't use anything, Shantideva said, then that is crazy. So main point is, we promise, we receive the way of Bodhisattva teaching. When we have opportunity, when condition comes, we need mindful awareness. It's not doing wrong things. So when condition comes, we don't recognize what we're doing and go to wrong doing, doing wrong things. Then Shantideva says we are crazy. Because promise, but when condition comes, not use the right direction, positive way, and use always a negative way. So that's actually, we have to remind ourselves. Any situation, worldly things has positive, negative. So you can take either directions. You can take negative way, you can take positive way. So long as you promise bodhicitta, you always have to take positive way. But Shantideva says mostly this who take promise and go to the negative directions. So that is crazy. We have to recognize that. But But as this is so, I must never withdraw. So Shantideva said, you have to think that way, so don't give up bodhicitta. Anyway, don't give up bodhicitta. You think, I cannot do bodhicitta, I cannot follow the practice of bodhicitta, I want to give up. So that is wrong. Which difficulty, whatever difficulty comes, bear through and put effort, patience. So Shantideva said, don't give up, but as this is so, I must never withdraw from one cushion my disturbing conceptions. I'm going to subdue my negative emotions. I'm not going to give up. So the reason is, I promise, big promise, I'm going to benefit others. That's the reason. First, I have to subdue my own negativity. You know, then going to benefit others. That's the reason I'm not going to give up. So that's you have to promise again, you know, whatever you do. Then the 43 is like another way, like way to subdue or purify negativity, karma, negative emotions. And to do this will be my sole obsession, holding a strong grudge, I shall meet him in better, but disturbing conceptions such as this destroy disturbing conception, and for the time being are not to be abandoned. So this part is a little bit harder to understand, the 43. Do you, yes or no? Yeah, it's a little bit harder, right? Understanding the meaning. So what is it that we have to do is like this practice is the more for beginners. And usually we say attachment and heat-related, right? Two things. Both are attachment, heat-related, both are negative. But we are beginners, so we have to attach to the positive and heat-related to the negative. So that's what Shantideva said. Use that first. Otherwise, you cannot gradually, you know, like progress in your practice. Then slowly, your, you know, like, I mean, the like practice more, become your progressing, your practice, then you can give up, attach to positivity too. But first, we have attached to positivity. That's why, and to do this will be my sole observation, holding a strong grudge means like we have to hold strongly positivity, like kind of like attached to this, you know, like I'm attached to my practice. I'm attached to like generosity, morality, passion, effort, like that. Use that power, holding a strong grudge, holding this positivity, and meet them in better means like fight with negativity. Use the positivity, attach to positivity, and fight with negativity emotion. But disturbing conception such as this, destroy. So then you can destroy the negative, you know, negative disturbing emotions, negative emotions. Use the positive emotion, destroy the negative emotions. Disturbing conception as such this, destroy. Then positive emotion, kind of we say positive emotion or attach to the positive. Disturbing conception is positive, and for the time being means like follow the time being for beginners. time, that during the beginning time is very important, are not to be abandoned, not ready to give up. So, example, if you are not that great meditator, you have to stay in the solitary place, quiet place, relax, cannot go to the busy and negative place meditate. And so if you are doing something and then practice the dharma and doing something, someone distract you, you have to telling them, you are distracting me, they've cut through that. And also, like whatever we do, like something, we have to put more effort attached to the positivity and destroy negativity. Like, these two have to fight together. So we have to winner positivity attachment. Actually, positive attachment, you have to winner the negative attachment, Negative, positive attachment subdued negative attachment. So example, you are attached to your home, then that is a negative attachment, right? You attach to Dharma center, that is a positive attachment. So use the attachment Dharma center and subdue the negative attachment at your home. So like that, the attachment means that's a term means like beginning term is very important. For the time being, it's like beginning time, we need to use that way. Otherwise, you cannot progress in your practice, and you have so much, the obstacles. Your practice is not possible to be successful. So we have to use positive attachment, subdued negative, anger, hatred, and negative attachment. That's the reason, like first level, you can attach to Dharma, you can attach to Buddha, you can attach to Sangha, you can attach to the temple. So you can attach to all this positive object. But then you are become more practitioner, you cannot attach to positive and negative both. So that's the reason Shantideva says here that for the time being are not to be abandoned. So beginning time, not ready to abandon. Understand clearly, right? So, yeah, so we have to attach to anyway positive way because for beginning time. Then 44, it would be better for me to be burned, to have my head cut off and to be killed, rather than bowing down to these over-present disturbing conceptions. This is all these practitioners does, like especially the really perfectly who can practice this. First, Bodhisattvas, absolute truth Bodhisattvas can practice. But our level, we have to wishing, we just much ever we can put effort, but cannot give up life. Then when you get realized first Bodhisattva level, then you can give up life, is no problem. So it would be better for me to be burned. If we burned, it's burned. I'm not going to give up my spiritual practice. It's whatever problem comes, I'm going to bear through that. I'm not going to give up my spiritual practice. So I'm not going to give up bodhicitta. The main point is, I can die, it's okay, I can die, but I'm not going to give up my bodhicitta. So that's the practitioners does. And that is the many stories in Tibet, like during this 1959. So this many Bodhisattvas, they didn't give up whatever difficulties, they give up the life. They didn't give up bodhicitta. So there has more wisdom, there has already practice is very powerful. They recognize life is not important. the give up bodhicitta is like big problem, and they can benefit others and themselves. So that's why they don't give up bodhicitta. I received this transmission from Khenpo Tenzin. So he also give up his fingers, you know, for the reason is to give up bodhicitta. And that story is Gachin Rinpoche shared. So he have to tell the Khenpo Tenzin. He go to the publicly have to tell everyone is Dharma is no truth. You know, no cause and effect. He have to tell the public speaking. He have to tell the public. The communists torture him, asked to do that. He said he's not going to do. Then they put in the outside and like winter, very cold, frozen, and cannot move the body and standing like I think it's a couple of nights or something. Live there and he lose the fingers because too cold, frozen. But he never give up the bodhicitta. So like that, you know, many practitioners does. But then they actually have courage to do that. Bodhicitta means Tibetan is called Sanchok Sampa. Sanchok means like purifying obscuration. Chok means like Sang means purifying obscuration, and the Chok means is this bodhicitta wisdom qualities is successful, you know. And then Sampa means like mind is courageous. They can give up life, benefit for others. That's why courageous. Bodhisattva means courageous. So then that's for me to be banned. That Bodhisattvas say, okay, ban for me. I'm not going to give up bodhicitta. I'm not going to harm for others. So what this Khenpo Tenzin, that time also he think, you know, like if I'm going to tell so many people like that, it's no cause, no effect. Everyone believe that. Everyone give up the cause and the effect. So many people are going to take to the lower realms. So he don't want to do that. He give up his life. So we think, oh, easy, just go to public and tell, oh, no cause, no effect. But so many people believe him, trust him. He's a spiritual teacher. So if you go to and publicly do that, many people believe. And that's why communists, you know, talk to him to do that, because they communists telling this, no cause, no effect, that people don't believe, don't follow that. And that's the reason he have to tell. So he give up the telling that, give up his body. So not only him, that's kind of so many stories. We don't know many. We don't know many. So we know a lot. It's like everyone has like that kind of, that time is Bodhisattvas, courageous. To have my head cut off and to be killed. Cut off my head, killed is do that. I'm not going to give up bodhicitta. I'm not going to harm for others. Whether they ever bowing down to this overpurging, disturbing conceptions, I'm not going to bow down my emotions. So that's Bodhisattva's promise. I want to overcome to the emotions, not under the bow down to the emotions. So regular people, ordinary beings, don't have courage to do that. Bodhisattva has courage to do that. Disturbing conceptions, they give up they're not going to bow down to the negative emotions. Then 45. Then this negative emotions, no same is the ordinary enemies. Common enemies, when expelled from one country, simply retire and settle down in another. Though when their strength is recovered, they then return. But the way of this enemy, my disturbing conceptions is not similar in this respect. So negative emotion comparing to ordinary common enemy is different, Shantideva said. So ordinary enemy is like common enemies when expelled from one country. So you lose in that place, then they go to runway, escape to another place, then that get more strength in the other place. They come back to again fight you. But Shantideva said negative emotions are not like that. They not come back to you, fight you again. If you destroy your negative emotions, they not come back to you again. Long as you remove, they not come back to again take down you. So simply retire and settle down in another. So see, these ordinary enemies, we know they go to escape to other place, and then they become more strong and more gained, and then they're going to fight back. So that's the reason we have so many terrorists. So you fight a terrorist, subdue another place, they go to another location, and they get more strong strength, and they're coming back to again fight and destroy the people's happiness. So that's why it's endless fighting in the world. So many terrorists, like never end terrorists, because as long as emotion is there, it's like terrorists cannot finish. So simply retire and settle down in another, coming back to fight. There's endless fighting. Though when the strength is recovered, then return. But the way of this enemy means like our emotional enemy, my disturbing conceptions, so negative emotion, is not similar in this respect. Like no same is the ordinary enemies. Ordinary enemies, they come back again, but negative emotion not come back again. Long as you destroy, they're not coming back. So that's a good news too, right? So otherwise, you subdue negative emotions, then come back again, you fight again, then endless fighting with negative emotions. So we never free from fighting then. Good thing is, long as you destroy their negative emotions, they're not coming back to destroy our happiness. So next, like 46, Shantideva said, this negative emotion has a method to purify it. Sometimes we think we don't have any something method to remove our negative emotion, but Shantideva said, have a method. Use this method, you can remove your negative emotion, purify negative emotion. Deluded, disturbing conceptions, when forsaken by the eye of wisdom and disappear from my mind, wherever you go, where were you do in order to be able to injure me again? But weak-minded, I have been reduced to making no effort. There's a deluded, negative emotion. You can remove. Who can remove negative emotion? When forsaken by the eye of wisdom. Wisdom remove negative emotion. So then negative emotion and disappear from my mind. They're free from your mind. So you are free from suffering. When your wisdom, remove all the negative emotions, your mind is free. Your mind is actually liberate. Then wherever you go, so where is it going to? Negative emotions. Negative emotions, no place to win. It's just gone. It's temporary. Negative emotions, delusion. Kind of like no any place located. So it's gone. Same is like the clouds. You don't know where it's clouds is come from. Like some days like whole cannot see anything, all it's clouds. Then another day is like all it's clear. We don't know where the clouds are being. Gone. So like that, negative is dispersed. So wherever you go, it's no any place to go, no come from, no any place to go, it's gone. Wherever you do in order to be able to injure me again. So then not possible to come back to create the suffering for me, because it's already purified, gone. To be able to injure me again. There can be come back to injure me again? No. The reason is already dead, gone, no more. Yeah. So then, but weak-minded, I have been reduced to making no effort. Then what happened? Negative emotions are so easy to go away. What happened? So I'm beginning less time until no. We are stuck with this, negative emotions. Why is it the big problem? It's negative emotions, delusion, no exist permanently, inherently. Just long as you have wisdom can remove all these negative emotions. Then what happens so long we are stuck with this negative emotions? So Shantideva said, but weak mind, your mind is very weak. I'm beginning last time until no, you didn't have the wisdom. That's why negative emotions control you. I'm beginning last time until no. So I have been reduced to making no effort. We didn't put effort. So my wisdom is very weak, not strong. We didn't put effort. We didn't fight the negative emotions. That's why negative emotions controlled. If you remove negative emotions, then no come back again. There is gone. No any exist. So long as we remove negative emotions, no possible to come back again. Negative emotions like not that powerful. They comparing to ordinary enemies. Ordinary enemies, you subdue, they go to other place, they gain again, strength again there, and they come back to fight and and destroy others' happiness. But negative emotion, long as you removed, they're gone because it's no exist. The problem is that we didn't recognize that. We didn't have enough wisdom. Our mind wisdom is very weak. So now you use wisdom, remove. They not come back to destroy our happiness again. They're not possible to come back again. So that's why they cannot injure me again. No, 47. 47 is wisdom. Look carefully, emotion, negative is no exist. If this disturbing conception do not exist within the object, the sense organs, between the two nor elsewhere, then where do they exist and how do they harm the world? They are lacking illusion, thus I should despair the fear within my heart and strive resolutely for wisdom. For no rare reason, why should I suffer so much in here? Then your wisdom investigate your emotion. Where is emotion? If disturbing conception do not exist within the object, your anger, your attachment, ignoring these things, no exist in the form of you seeing object, not the hearing the song object. So these 5 different objects, you know, sometimes we say 6 objects. They have 6 different objects. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, you know, bodies like test or so senses like all this. So 5 different objects, 6 different objects, mind objects. These emotions low to the object. They are not exist in the object. Then low to the organs. Organs like eye, the eye, like what we call the condition or eye faculty, I think faculty, air faculty, and nose faculties. You look to all these organs. There's any place not located. Then the thing about this 6 consciousness also not exist. Eye consciousness, air consciousness, like nose consciousness, all have 6 consciousness, 6 focus, 6 this organs, 6 objects. So this is called 18 together. 6 objects, 6 organs, 6 consciousness. This all 18 comes together. Then usually we are fixation to that. We are attached to and become, you know, we are comes like emotion, attachment, hatred, all come from this, all this 18 together comes. But you really investigate object 5, 6, emotions no exist. The inner, your 5, 6, these organs, the emotion, negative emotions no exist in there. Then you low to your 6 consciousness, emotion negative is not exist there. Then what is emotion negative? It's just only delusion. Not really exist inherently any place located. Between the two, nor elsewhere, no any place, subject and object no exist. Then where do they exist? Then where is the emotion exist? And how do they harm the world? Then how can they harm to other beings? Emotions not really physically exist. They are like in illusion. Thus I should dispel the fear. They are same as illusion. So not permanently, inherently, these emotions exist. Not physically, emotions not exist. Emotion is always dreaming, same as delusion. We didn't recognize emotions not exist, but emotion control us. So you really investigate, use your wisdom, emotions not exist. That's why I should dispel the fear within my heart. So then I don't have to stuck with the fears because emotions not exist. So now we recognize why I'm fear, why I'm attached, why I'm hatred, because emotion does not exist. So dispel the fear within my heart and strive resolutely for wisdom. No, I'm going to put effort. Remove these negative emotions. The reason is emotions not exist, but I didn't recognize. I'm beginning last time until now. So now I recognize emotions not exist. It's the same as delusion. I'm not going to bow down to the emotion, and I want to overcome to emotion, remove, and I'm not going to get feared. I'm going to put effort and use wisdom. So that is that we have to create, like, courage and strong the effort for no rare reason. For no rare reason, why I bow down to the emotion? Why is I'm controlled emotion? No reasons. Why should I suffer so much in here? Why so much I suffering in samsara? So the emotion just is kind of cheating us. They don't have a power. They don't have any strength. But we didn't recognize that because we didn't have wisdom. And they don't have forms. Why this emotion put me so much in the higher realms, lower realms, in the samsara? No reasons. What happened me? We have to think about what happened me. So we have to wake up ourselves. So we think we are so strong. Actually, not strong. Why? The emotion controlled us. Emotion subdued us. This emotion, why can subdue us? Because we didn't have wisdom. Now I have wisdom. I look through carefully myself and recognize emotion is no power. Emotion didn't have strength. So I'm going to overcome to the emotion. It's going to subdue. Otherwise, it is emotion going to put me in the lower realms, in the samsara. So now we wake up. What happened me? Usually we say that. What happened you? Shantideva said, what happened? These are samsaric beings. So needed to wake up, use wisdom. So usually they say, people say, I am courage. I have strength. I have power. I have so many something, power, and I'm the special. So this everyone is emotion controlled. They are not special. They don't have strength, anyone, see? So we see that some people is like, oh, so he's so powerful. Actually, they don't have power because emotion controls them. Who has the power? Who don't free from emotion? That person has the power. So who is that? That is the Bodhisattva. That's the reason you think about all the Milarepa, so the biography, his song of realizations, and so the usually I already said many times, like the king of Nepal request him to come to meet him, and Milarepa said, no, I'm not going to go there. So the messenger said, oh, you are crazy. King of Nepal receive you. Why you no go? You don't have food. You don't have clothes. You're crazy. So then Milarepa said, no, you're wrong. I am the king. So he gave a very good the song of realization song. He said, I'm the king, free from these emotions. His just main point is a king of Nepal is not a king. He's emotion controlled. See, we see this all these worldly leaders, we think their strength, their power, actually they're no power because emotion control them. So no one has power. See, emotion is actually nothing, but they control, emotion control. So who has wisdom? That person, emotion cannot control. Because wisdom see, emotion no strength. Emotion didn't have power. So that's why we have to question ourselves, what happened me? so long time. We stuck in samsara. So now ready to we wake up, yeah? We have to wake up. Then, so 48. Therefore, having thought about this word, I should try to put this precept into practice just as this have been explained. If the doctor's instructions are ignored, how will a patient in need of care be heard by this medicine? This unbearable sense of here. So therefore, having thought about this word, so we have to think about again what we talked. Shantideva talked. We have to think about again. The reason is I shall try to put this precept into practice just as they have been explained. So that's the reason we have to put effort. We just told we are working for other beings. We're working our own benefit for others. That's the reason we have Bodhisattva. So we have to take care of our Bodhisattva precepts. I should try to put these precepts into practice. So we have to practice just as have been explained. So what we talked, that we have to explain. If we don't practice, if you hear this teaching, of course have good virtue as this, but still stuck in samsara. So the main point Shantideva said, what I talked, you have to use that, you have to practice. If you don't practice, I cannot take you to liberation, Buddhahood. So example is, if the doctor's instructions are ignored, the patient is sick. Doctor gives so much instruction for patient. Patient have problem, then no possible recovering. Think about the first problem is patient don't recognize that they are disease, they're sick. Same like that, this all worldly people don't recognize their own problems. They don't recognize emotion control them. Secondly, if they recognize they are sick, so they go to see the doctor. Okay. Secondly, if they recognize they're sick, they don't see the doctor. Same like that, these worldly people recognize they have problem, something, I have problem, but they don't want to see any, like spiritual, and they don't want to hear anything, instruction about the teachings, Dharma teachings. They don't want to hear. So they see they have problem, but they don't want to hear. So many people like that. Same is like patients, they recognize they're sick, but they don't want to hear the sick. They don't want to see the doctor. The third, the patients go to see the doctor. The doctor give advice. Doctor gives so many medicine. Then the patient come back. They don't use any doctor's advice, suggestions. They don't eat medicine. So that is probably we are going to happen like that, okay? So we are in the third level. Not the first one, this worldly beings. So many people is second level. We are not there. We are in the third state. So we have this teaching. No, Shantideva gives so many instructions. We have to put effort. If we don't put effort, practice, same is this. If the doctor's instructions are ignored, how will a patient in need of care be heard? not possible to patient can be recovered, healed by this medicine. If patients don't eat medicine, they don't eat medicine, they don't follow the doctor's advice, they can recover or yes or not. Give me answer. No, right? Not possible. So that's why it's asked questions. If you have this order instructions, teaching, if you don't practice, if you don't follow, you can become liberated or no? No, okay? So that's your answer need. No, right? So that's we have to understand. That's unbearable flame over here. Then if we don't follow, we're going to falling again into the lower realms, suffering. But same is the patients don't follow the doctor's instruction, they are become falling to samsara again. No, I mean that there's no possible to recover again the illness. So that is the chapter 4. Chapter 4 is mindful. We need the mindful and awareness. Follow the instruction and whatever we hear that, hold that and practice. So what we talked in this chapter 4, actually all is for use for daily activities. Long as you have a mindful, you can use that teaching is your for daily activity. You don't have to go to somewhere to, I say, I'm going to practice bodhicitta, like close eye practice bodhicitta. That time, that way is like not easily affected. So practice bodhicitta, we need mindful awareness, go to in the public place and serve the public and doing these things. Be with ordinary people, and then you can use this teaching in the practice. Then become you are different than other people. So same is like gold is falling to in the garbage. The gold never lost their quality. Always shining, always valued. There's the other like garbage things never affected. Like that, bodhicitta, bodhisattvas be in the public, be in the ordinary people together, but bodhisattvas always special. They never lost their strength or their actions, their doing practice. So then you see the difference. Bodhisattva is the comparing to other people. So I already shared. We have to remind them again that whatever we hear this teaching, when we get in the situation and worldly, and we have to remind again, use the mindful. So now we go to the chapter 5. Chapter 5 is alertness. So we have to practice what Shantideva guide, practice bodhicitta. So bodhicitta like follow the 3 different ways practice, abandon the non-virtuous, cultivate virtuous deeds, benefit for other beings. So that is the bodhicitta practice. We already talked a lot about these 3 in the essence of Mahayana. So that 3 is practice. So when we practice that 3, so we need something method. What is our method? So you have to watch your mind. We have to watch our mind. Use this alertness. If without alertness, you cannot practice bodhicitta. Practice bodhicitta, I already told you, just I told you, I don't know, you already forget. Abandon the non-virtuous, benefit for other beings, cultivate virtuous deeds. So that is the practice of bodhicitta, yeah? So when you practice that, you need alertness. The use mind for alertness. Have to, subdue our crazy mind. So that is this first one, this chapter actually, this whole chapter. Especially this first sentence, first verses is the main point about all this chapter. Kind of summarize. So those who wish to guide their practice should attentively guide their minds. For those who do not guide their minds will be unable to guide their practice. So who wanted to practice bodhicitta, the person should, practice, guide the mind, have to guide our mind, use the alertness. For those who do not guide the mind, if we don't guide our mind, if we don't use mind for alertness, we'll be unable to guide the practice. We know possible to practice bodhisattva. So that's the reason, long as you're going to practice bodhicitta, guide your mind. If you don't guide your mind, use mindful awareness, its alertness, you cannot practice bodhisattva. So that is the main point. So then next is more instinctively how to guide our mind. There have three reasons. Like three main important ways to guide our mind. The reason is all this negativity is come from mind. All the positive is come from mind. That's the reason we have to guide our mind. So the three reasons going to more explain detail. So first we have to think about this. All negativity is come from our mind. In this world, unsubdued and crazy elephants are incapable of causing such harms as the miseries of the deepest here, which can be caused by the unleashed elephant of mind. Shantideva, here is just main point. He said our mind is the same as a crazy elephant. So I don't know much about crazy elephants. So during the long time in Asian tradition in India, they have a lot of crazy elephants. So crazy elephant destroy everything, all the object. So you have they also have a story during the Buddha time, So Buddha is going into his retinues together, bake the food, on the city. He went to the city. So this Buddha's half brother, Devadatta, and the king is like Machida. He cared is actually his father to because he attached to his kingdom and he cared father. And the Buddha's half brother and who cared his father, this king it comes together. They wanted to harm Buddha. So they told who take care of the elephant, crazy elephant, put it somewhere else, in the cage or somewhere. When Buddha is coming, so ask them release the elephant, crazy elephant. Then Buddha on the way they released the crazy elephant. They wanted to harm Buddha and his retinues, others. So release this elephant, crazy elephant. the elephant is crazy elephant comes. Everyone scared. Everyone has fear. So everyone run, escape. So some Buddha's disciples behind that, they just have adopt what they're going to do. They don't know. They watch the Buddha. You know, the Buddha is fearless. No fear, no any pay attention to the elephant, crazy elephant. Just peacefully, and the same is before what he has, like exactly he's on the road walking, and then this crazy elephant come to close to the Buddha, and then the elephant bow down to Buddha. You know, bow down to the Buddha and homage to the Buddha. So the Buddha is already free from fear. That's why he can subdue this crazy elephant. The other, you know, people don't recognize that. So Buddha subdued the elephant. Buddha has become more famous. Actually, this Devadatta and half-brother Buddha and other the king of the sun, just he hold the kingdom that time. So this wanted to harm Buddha, but they make Buddha to become more famous. Okay. So like that, usually enemies make Bodhisattvas become more shining and more powerful, and they create Bodhisattvas like qualities recognized clearly. You know, when you practice Bodhisattva, Bodhicitta, then actually usually we recognize our enemy. Ordinary way we recognize the enemy is become actually causes of bodhicitta, and usually we attach to our family, relative, countries. It's negative. So actually obstacle practice to bodhisattva, bodhicitta. So that is we recognize clearly look to this all the stories. And why is Buddha is so become popular in India? Because his half brother actually created Buddha is so popular. He always wanted to harm, but then use that is opposite. It's become Buddha quality is more shining, more become more famous. He create, you know. So same like this. Enemies, the Bodhisattvas become more powerful and create bodhicitta as a stone. The Bodhisattvas need these enemies. Enemies is like, you know, causes of bodhicitta. Like same is the firewood. So firewood is like causes of fire. Same like that. Enemies is the causes of the bodhicitta. Become bodhicitta is increasing. So that is the story, you know, like Buddha also happening like that. Then same like this, in this world, unsubdued and the crazy elephant means if you don't subdue the crazy elephant, then are incapable of causing such harm. This crazy elephant so much harm others. As this misery of the deepest here. So same like that. If we don't subdue our crazy mind, we are put into the headlands. The crazy mind can put, we are in the lowest here, which can be caused by the unleashed elephant of mind. So our mind is the same as a crazy elephant. Crazy mind creates so much causes of suffering. Crazy mind can put us in the lowest realm. So that's the reason all the negativity is come from mind. So now what do we have to do? We recognize that if we have to subdue the crazy mind, So, but if this third versus the third, but if the elephant of my mind is firmly bound on all sides by the rope of mindfulness, all fears were caused to exist, and all virtues will come into my hand. So what we need mindfulness. So, but if the elephant of my mind is firmly bound, so elephant is the same as our crazy mind. Crazy elephant is the same as our crazy mind. So then how do we subdue the crazy elephant on all sides by the rope of mindfulness? Crazy elephant need rope to tight to put in the cage. They cannot run any place to go, destroy other object. Same like this, we need mindful. You know, mindfulness is the same as a rope. Tight our mind. Watch our crazy mind. So all fears were caused to exist. Then you subdued the crazy elephant. No one scared. Then everyone can fearlessly can go and walk, can do things. If somewhere it's like crazy elephant, everyone has fear. Everyone's scared. So same is the thing about right now we have a coronavirus. Long as the coronavirus exists, we are scared to go outside with the public. We have fears. So what we need medicine. Cure this coronavirus. Then we don't get fears. We are free from suffering. So same like that, we have to subdue crazy our mind. If we don't subdue the crazy our mind, the crazy mind put we are in the suffering. Long as we subdue the crazy our mind, we are free from fears. All fears will cease to exist. All the fears release actually can be gone, no more fears. And where the fears is gone, same time, this positive and all virtues will come into my hand. All the good qualities arise again. So coronavirus is gone, and you can go to work, you can enjoy. You can go to the wherever you want. You can go to the party. You can go celebrate. So you can do worldly things. You can celebrate your birth party. You can celebrate marriage ceremony, or you can do your office business, everything, right? Whatever you can do, and everything become easy, come to into your hand. Same like that. Long as you subdue your crazy mind, you are free from fears. No fears, and then all the virtues will come into your hand, my hand. All the Bodhisattva practice is increasing. The number 4, verses 4, tigers, lions, elephants, bears, snakes, and all forms of enemies, the guardians of the hill world, evil spirits, and cannibals. So usually we scared these animals. Everyone has fears, especially like long time, ancient time, everyone scared, fears these animals. Especially if they are crazy, then we have more fears. So then animals, and then of course we have fear the gardens of the hair world. So all this when we die, and this gardens of the hair world. So yesterday we already talked. Where does that come from? That all come from our negative emotions, become apart to this gardens of the hair world. Even spirits and the cannibals. So that's also something like spirits. We don't see spirits harms others, and some different kind, obstacle beings that makes fears people, that scared people, and they create so much causes of suffering. So so that's all these fears harm for us, harm for others. But same like this crazy mind, really harm for us. So where is this all come from? Because not subdued our crazy mind. That's why all these fears. Actually, these beings also not subdued their mind. They harm for others. So there's many reasons. This example is. Then the main point is Shantideva say we have to subdue our mind. Long as you subdue your mind, these beings not going to harm you. You are free from these fears from these beings. You are free from these beings. So where the verses 5, where all be bound by binding my mind alone, and where all be subdued by subduing my mind alone. If you subdued your mind, you subdued all these beings. Tigers, lions, elephants, bears, snakes, all these evil spirits, everyone subdued. Long as you subdued your mind. Same with Buddha, see? Buddha, I just shared a story, bake the food, a crazy elephant comes. Crazy elephant cannot harm to Buddha because he is subdued. His crazy mind. The elephant mind is crazy. Crazy mind cannot harm to someone already subdued crazy mind. So crazy elephant can harm to who? Another crazy people who not subdued yet mind. The crazy elephant can harm to them. Same as yesterday I shared the snake, poison snake. The snake who can harm to who has poison, who has emotions, the snake can harm to them. Who don't have the emotions, the snake cannot harm to them. So long as we subdued our mind, these beings cannot harm us. We already subdued all these beings. So the main important, Shantideva said, don't subdue the elephant. Don't kill the tigers. You scare the tigers, go to killing the tigers, so many tigers. So many elephants, so many all this kind of like danger beings, like you fear, scared these beings, so many objects. Not possible to subdue all these beings, subdue your mind. Then subdue everything, all these beings. So long as you subdue your mind by subduing my mind alone, and where all be subdued, everything is subdued, then become you are perfect. The verse 6, we have to finish this. The perfect teaching himself has shown that in this way all fears, as well as all boundless miseries, originate from the mind. So the Buddha already talked this. What Buddha talked? Buddha talked that in this way all fears, as well as all boundless miseries, originated from the mind. So all these fears, all this misery, suffering, where it's come from, where it's located, or it's located in your mind, or it's come from your mind. So Buddha clearly already told us why we're not going to listening. You know, Shantideva said, Buddha already talked clearly. Why you not subdue your mind? If we don't subdue our mind, these fears never end. These sufferings never end. So main point, subdue your mind, all the fears gone, all the suffering is gone. So all the Buddha's teaching is subsumed. Actually, main important point is subdued our mind, not subdued other beings. Okay, have to subdue our mind. Long as you subdued our mind, then you same is like subdued all other beings. So that is the teaching, the Buddha's essence of the teaching, main point. Then Shantideva going to give more examples, more information. So we're going to follow the next week. So today we finish here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, everyone. Today
Thank
is
you,
last.
Khenpo. Thank you.
Today, everyone really take care of the mind.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Sometimes I share the teaching. You don't take care of your mind. Chat so much in the chat room.
He said,
suppressing sometimes like, oh, you have time to chat this in the chat room.
No chats today, Khenpo.
That's great. If no chat, it's like no distracting others. You are listening, teaching.
Right.
You chat, that time your mind is like follow the thought, and then you give also like distracting others. So we have to take care of our mind, and then let go chat. Sometimes time to chat, then you can chat. But when you hear the teaching time, practice time, no chat. If someone really have to give information, they give information something. No give answers.
Make this bigger.
Give information. Give answers. Maybe don't know correct answer or no.
Sure.
Then they ask you again. Then you give answer again. Then you lose what you doing. You know.
Good advice.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. No chat today.
Thank you.
You take care of your finger.
Dedication.
Who control your finger? Your mind control your finger. Your mind is who control. Your thoughts control your mind. Where the thoughts is emotion control. The all is the source is emotion. That's why you're chatting. If I speak Tibetan, then someone translate English, then you have like maybe during the Tibetan you do understanding. Maybe you have time to chat. But I'm teaching is English, so you have to pay more attention because I don't have good English. That's the reason you have to put more effort, not chat. Okay, if you have someone has good English, then maybe you understand that like you don't have a chat. But I'm speak is not good English. You have to pay more attention. Pay more attention. Put more effort. No time to chat. Okay.
Your English is perfect.
Alertness and mindful. Thank you, everyone. That is a fifth instruction.
dedication, Khenpo?
Yes, we go to dedication. Thank you.
Is
Mary,
that in the
please
chat
chant
room?
the dedication.
I don't know,
Mary, please.
Khenpo. If
Huh?
it's in the chat room, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to go there. I got it. I will.
This is a positive chart.
Okay, gotcha.
So today we teaching thing about, they have two things, like first use positive chart, then subdue the negative chart.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay.
Emaho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful Pure Land of Dewa Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teata pensadriya awa bodha naya soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Dringungpa Ratnashri, who is the omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Khenpo.
Good Khenpo. You're mute. Bye. See you
Oh,
tonight.
thank you, everyone. See you 7 o'clock. See you 7 o'clock. And yesterday, everyone did really good. 7 o'clock. Thank you. So we're going to do again.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
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 See you later.